No, we'll do a formal intro in a second. We'll let people gather up. Because let's just make sure we're up and rolling.
Can you see who's here?
You
have the chat, and then you have the private chat, right?
Yeah. Oh, we're up. We're live. I'm seeing us on the Twitters.
We're live on the Twitters.
We are live on the Twitters.
We're live on the Twitters. Live scares me.
It does. It is.
Yeah, man. It makes my heart race.
So now if I pop this open, this is always the awkward part of like streaming. Is like, can you start? I don't know. Sort of.
How does the chat work? Is that just like when people respond to the tweet or something?
No, that's Periscope chat, I believe.
Periscope.
Oh. They'd be like, Ken has a shitty beard and looks fat.
That's basically what that is. Also,
that's in the private chat.
YouTube link works. It links. We're like on. We're like,
yeah, that works.
Yeah, we're YouTube live. That works
Nice.
too. We're live there.
What up?
We're live on
Damascus.
Holy shit! Technology worked. That's like amazing.
How did this work first try?
It's really unbelievable. Considering like what we've done in the past on past episodes, like remember the first one we tried to do the pandemic, like we tried to do an Instagram and like we didn't even know how it did just fucking failed. That was terrible. This just like fucking restream though.
I mean, streaming's the future, right? All the kids.
Yes, so 16 people in the top corner. We can see 15 people.
Oh, look at that.
Look at all that. 12 on Periscope, 5 on the tubes. Dude, this platform fucks. All right. Shall we, Mr. Kenneth? In like at 5:30, we'll do it. We can just wait a little bit. I'm gonna wait till this thing keeps. It's just people keep coming in and watching.
Oh, wait, hold on. I can't. All right, no. So, okay, I had the Twitter shit, the music on, right, and then it was like shit from like.
We all watched what you just did, and it was we watched your brain kind of be like, what?
What the fuck is happening right now? That was too much for me, man. I short circuited for a second.
Yeah, it was cute. It was adorable.
We got your back.
All right, we're good.
All right, should we just go 10 minutes early?
Why not?
Fuck it. Let's be ahead of it. All right,
Ahead of the curve.
It's been a long time.
We'll do it live.
It's been a long time. But welcome to the Undefined podcast. I'm Jared Palmer.
And I'm Ken Wheeler, and we have a very fucking special guest today. None other than Mr. Spike Brehm. What's going on, Poppy?
What's up, fools? Good to see you, boys.
Likewise.
What up?
Yeah.
It's been a minute.
Yeah. When's the last time you guys did one of these? Like March or something?
Beginning of it was 10 years ago. March.
Yeah. 2010.
It's a world away. It was a different world back then.
Very different world. I got fat. Started losing my hair. Ken had like.
Yeah. I had a fucking
in his room right now.
Yeah, I was way ahead of the curve on that shit.
Those lights move. Those lights are moving. Oh
yeah, they circle. I was watching the shit one time, dude, and it was Snoop Dogg was smoking weed and fucking had this shit going, and I was like, dude, that's fucking sick. I need that. So I went and looked.
Buy everything on Instagram that you see.
Yes, I do.
I feel like Instagram is probably a perfect platform for you.
I have all these like
joggers.
Yes, yeah. I have all like this like technical sportswear that looks really awesome on like jacked 18-year-old dudes, and then I get it, and it's like fucking fucked up looking. It looks stupid.
Or it's made it's like shitty quality.
Yeah. What's up?
Those lights back there. Do you ever get crossfaded and you sit in a room and you think the whole room is spinning because the lights are just like very subtly moving?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I've sat in here and been like, oh, this is too much.
Got to turn it off.
Got to turn it off, man. This is crazy. This is crazy, man.
All right, well, let's do a little drink check, folks. Classic segment here. What do we got, Mr. Kenneth? Lord Kenneth Wheeler.
So, I fucking forgot to order tequila. So, I have a variety of fall beers. I had Oktoberfest last week. So, right now, I'm drinking a Polliner Hefeweizen.
Classic.
Ooh, I just finished the Blue Point Pumpkin beer. I have an Oktoberfest. I have a Hacker Shore and a Spaten Lager.
Damn. You're really leaning into the fall. And a 6-pack for an hour. It's pretty solid.
Mm-hmm. This is America, boys.
Mr. Spike?
I'm working on my agave here. I've got, I wasn't sure. I got my 3 different darknesses of Casamigos here. And then I got this great mezcal, Dos Hombres mezcal. It was a gift from a friend of mine.
Oh.
Shout out to J-Toy.
Sweet.
But I went with just straight down the middle. The Reposado with a little
Always a
little
choice.
Little buble, little lime buble. You guys know buble?
I know about buble.
No.
Yeah, it's like, LaCroix is over, so.
Yeah, I got buble in the fridge right fucking now.
Flavor.
Strawberry.
I hate this flavor.
I
can't even pronounce it.
You got the classic one.
Pamplemousse.
Pamplemousse. That's the classic. I mean, that's the.
You know what? So I overheard someone have the greatest name for LaCroix. Spicy water.
Spicy water.
I call it LaCroix.
LaCroix. LaCroix.
Oh, LaCroix.
LaCroix.
Yeah.
What are you drinking, Jared?
All right. I have
besides LaCroix.
Glenlivet.
He's drinking white wine.
Glenlivet Nadura.
Oh, nice.
It's that good shit.
Yeah, look at that. Smoky, but not too smoky.
Very smoky. Smoky, smooth. Not peaty. Single malt. Bottled in 2008. How about that?
When did you get the bottle?
Recently.
Wow, look who fucking COVID Jared finishing bottles.
Maybe that's where the 10 pounds came from.
We're at a family. I'm at the family house. This is like a shared effort.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
That's not just you.
Nice. How old were you when that bottle was bottled? That's the question.
Well, I don't know. I'm not going to do math on air. I'm so ridiculously. I'm actually like decent at math in my head, but like I'm so used to not trusting myself that I type everything into like Spotlight to double check it.
Yeah,
the old Apple space.
For sure.
Yeah, Apple Space, baby.
I do that shit on the regs.
Oh, it's required.
Yeah, when you're in finance, so there's lots of number crunching, right, Ken?
That's right. Yeah,
but it's on Windows, so I do it on my phone.
Do you use like an Alfred like app when you're working, Ken?
No, all I really work in is VS Code and fucking Chrome. So
you don't use Alfred?
No, why would I use Alfred?
How do you do your life? Oh my, what is Alfred?
Alfred, I mean,
no, I know what Alfred is. I just don't fucking use it.
Dude, I have clipboard history back to like, I don't know, set to some maximum amount of time. Like I use clipboard.
Sounds like a liability.
Yeah, probably is. But yeah, dude, like I couldn't code without clipboard history.
Really?
It's amazing. Yeah, you need something later, fucking copy that shit, and boom, it's there forever for 3 months. It's in the same spot. Just got
so many productivity hacks that I don't even know about. Gosh,
what a weird system of backup.
It's not the only system of backup. I mean, I use Git too, but it's like in between. I'm not like stashing shit all the time. Like if I need to copy a file, it's like fucking boom.
You want to hear a funny story?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I used to have this script for Textmate that would save a copy of a file to like a temp directory every single time you hit save with the timestamp. So like in the event that something got deleted, you would have a version of that file in this temp directory.
Nice. You must have gotten a bit hard for you to come up with that.
Yeah, that's some paranoid shit.
Yeah,
that's some seriously paranoid shit.
Yeah, and fucking it actually came in clutch on several occasions.
Really?
Were you not using Git?
I was using Git.
Damn.
All right, before we jump into Spike's background and all other stuff, welcome to people who just joined. But also, I recently EP to edit HP and just like it live like a badass, like it was fucking 2000. And I gotta tell you what though, pretty good, pretty amazing. Just like you want to talk about deployment, just refresh the fucking page, and it's
you drag and drop.
PHP is, or even better, just syncs to like your local file system with like transmit, and it's you can do all this testing shit, but you want to move lightning fast.
There you go.
It was fun.
There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that.
A lot of apps do not need like all this CI bullshit. I just gotta say, like, I feel like people would move a lot faster if they,
especially
a complex Travis. Imagine having like a whole Travis set up for like a fucking blog that no one reads.
Well, that's the whole thing. It's like, exactly, like you have 3 posts, and you're gonna like build it with like Gatsby and spend like realistically Gatsby and Next.js and JavaScript in general at this point is like one of the best procrastination tools from actually like doing your work.
For sure. Designing a new blogging platform with like SSR and like all sorts of crazy transitions and animations and shit. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So now that we're like kind of on schedule, welcome if you're just joining. So Mr. Spike, tell us about yourself.
Wow, where do I begin? So I get the gist is, yeah. So I'm a software engineer. Just another software engineer. I just recently left Airbnb after almost 10 years.
Woo.
And I just moved recently to the East Coast from
Where?
San Francisco, originally to Manhattan, but then I realized that the real shit is down here at the Jersey Shore.
How far do you live from me right now?
I think it's 17 minutes, 15 minutes.
I think about 7 minutes.
And you guys aren't in the bubble together? Like you guys are not like.
I considered it.
What bubble?
Exactly. That's my point.
Oh, coming over here.
Yeah.
The COVID bubble.
Yeah.
You should have, really.
Yeah. Damn.
That's awesome.
Missed out on that. But
we hung out in New York. That feels like a decade ago.
That was a year ago. Yeah, that was
a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know what? Actually, what's funny? I remember exactly when it was because that was like August of last year because we had rented an apartment in the West Village, and we had just furnished it, interior design, everything, and then this crack started opening up in our ceiling over our bed, and it got bigger and bigger every day. And we had to call our landlords and be like, "What the hell's happening?" So we got the hell out of town. What happened was the ceiling actually like caved in.
Oh my god!
So we were.
That.
It was. Yeah, man. It was. We were the top floor of this brownstone, and like I guess water got on the roof and just fucking came down. So we couldn't stay in that place for a full month. So we were bouncing around to different hotels. Anyway, so I was staying at the Bowery Hotel, and we met up right next to the Bowery Hotel.
That's right.
Did it damage your furnishings?
No, man, because we caught it. Because looking up at night, you can see this giant crack. It's actually really funny because
I'm gonna move my shit over.
It's classic, like me and my wife, where she's like, "This is concerning. We should probably do something about this." And I'm like, "Nah, it's fine. Like, whatever. It's probably fine." And so she was right about that one. But anyway, so
they often are.
So where are you working now?
So I'm let's see. This is week 3 of a new gig, which is pretty wild. After spending a decade somewhere, I'm at a company called Watershed. It's an early stage startup working on a software platform to help companies decarbonize, help companies measure their carbon emissions and reduce their carbon emissions. So as when I told Ken this is my new gig, he called me a fucking hippie.
True.
Because at the end of the day, trying to save the world.
I think that's great, though. The
noble quest.
You can go do something that you're passionate about. You know?
Yeah, I mean, you're trying to sell me and join in Redacted. Slinging trading software. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought about joining some of these companies. Thought about Coinbase. You may have heard of them recently.
Very mission-driven company.
Very mission-driven. I mean, they say it. They got a blog post about it, so it's very clear. But yeah, man, I had to fucking. I'm a bleeding heart liberal. I have to save the world. So here we are. And anyway, so it's like we're 7 people right now. Just building out some early stage stuff. It's pretty exciting. It's also kind of scary to join. I joined Airbnb, it was 50 people. Then it grew to 8,000 people. Then of course we fired 25% of people. But then it peaked at 8,000 people. And joining this tiny thing, it's a bit of a mind fuck. I'm trying to get into the mindset of just ship early and often. Because on my last team at Airbnb, I spent probably we spent 3, 4, 5 months building out a new version of a thing before we showed it to a user. And now it's just don't even write a PR description, just fucking ship it. Ship, follow up, ship. So yeah, man, it's a trip. I'm stoked.
Didn't you also coin the term isomorphic JavaScript or some shit like that?
Is that right?
I think he's the origin of that.
No, man, it's close. I did not coin it, but I'm responsible for popularizing it. I think back in
was it coined internally?
Right?
It was So it was coined by Charlie Robbins, another New York dude, born and raised New York City. Charlie Robbins. He was the CTO of Nodejitsu. Maybe you remember Nodejitsu back in the day, one of the early Node companies.
Oh yeah.
He's got a blog post from 2011, I think it is, about where isomorphic JavaScript. It might still be on the web, I wonder. But he described the perfect architecture, which is your code can run in the client or on the server, wherever the fuck you want it to run, wherever it makes sense to run for that piece of code or both. and it blew my mind.
You heard it here, folks. This hippie basically fucking invented server rendering.
Yeah, man, wild stuff. Do you guys remember Render? Did you ever see that library I created back in the day?
Mm-hmm. Hell fucking yeah.
Back when Backbone was the thing, man, I was like, I would go to all these Node meetups in the Bay Area because Node started in Oakland, so it was a real kind of Bay Area thing, and everyone was a bunch of distributed systems neckbeards. I mean, not to generalize, but it was like mostly backend folks. And I was like one of the only front end dude who was trying to. I was going around like sharing this vision, like let's figure out how to run our single page app on the server, and everyone thought I was insane. Like no one figured out why the hell I want to do that. So anyway, I built the thing and wrote the blog post, and then here we are.
What was it like being a dude with dark jeans in a room full of light jeans?
how controversial. I felt pretty alpha in there.
I bet.
It has no pairs of light jeans, by the way. I just want to let you all know that.
What's this?
Ken doesn't own a pair of light jeans.
No, I don't. No, fuck no.
Baggy light jeans.
No light jeans.
It's not
with.
You look great in them, Ken. You look great. Except I don't know if you look great in them. You would look like you were from Jersey.
If I got light jeans, it would be after the ones that look like they fucking got bleach spilled on them and had like a bunch of rips and shit.
That'd be horrendous.
You pay extra for that shit.
My legs aren't tan enough for the rips.
I acid bleached my own shorts, and it turned out pretty dope, actually.
That's cool.
Because I spilled bleach on them when I was doing laundry.
Like
I was like,
tie-dye for like adults. It's like,
yeah,
that's kind of wild.
It's an art project.
Hey, so let's rewind this. I want to know.
Go back to the Node revolution.
Yeah, man.
No, I want to go back even further. I want to know, how did you start programming? Did you
this
shit?
Oh, I was excited for this question because you're going to be happy about one of these things I say.
Here it comes.
Here it comes. I taught myself how to make websites back in like middle school. Because back in the day you could just use source and just fucking use front page and write some JavaScript and FTP it to somewhere, and there you had it. But my dad was a software manager. He managed a development team at a telco, and so he had an MSDN subscription, which MSDN, that was the shit, Microsoft Developer Network. He'd bring home these stacks of 10 CDs, and it'd be like Microsoft Access, all this stuff, Visual Basic. And so I got started writing some VB script.
VB.
Yeah.
The Visual Basic podcast.
The Visual Basic podcast. So, but I use it for ASP, I was writing ASP websites. I didn't ever use it for GUI stuff on desktop. But started making some websites. And then I was like, man, turns out with all this Microsoft stuff, you got to buy a license and whatnot. So I discovered the LAMP stack and FOSS, free open source software. I discovered FOSS, and I installed Linux on my computer, my second computer with a KVM switch, so I could KVM between So what I would do is I'd be playing Counter-Strike. This is me at 15, just a snapshot. Playing Counter-Strike. When I died, I'd KVM over to my Linux box and figure out how to apt install a package so I could run PHP, and then I'd hear in my headphones when I respawned, and I'd KVM back, and there was at it. So. That's basically all you need to know.
So, first of all, that's dope. Second off, I just tried to tweet our shit, and can you? Yeah. Is your guys' Twitter down too?
Yeah.
Did Donald Trump take Twitter down?
Nothing to see here.
Are we getting it? Dude, tweets are not loading right now. Are we live on YouTube still? Only because this would be obviously the funniest podcast episode ever if we're just literally not even fucking playing this shit. Let's see.
Yeah, Google's fine. Google's it's not a Google problem. I guess the whole site got censored.
Dude, Twitter's not really down that often. I got to tell you what, I don't remember the last time Twitter was down like this.
That's super weird.
Hey, thanks, Cicito. This guy's that Watershed product looks sweet. Hell yeah, it does. Hell yeah, it does.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, yeah, we can put them on. We can give it a little shout out here. We can do. Oh, look at that!
Hey, look at that,
dude. This product, dude. Restream is pretty lit.
Dude, that's so fucking cool.
That's fucking sick. Yeah, we got Twitter's down too. Yeah.
Hey, Paulo.
Dude,
what up, Paulo?
What they're doing at Restream.
Cool. Yeah, this is the best video product I've seen.
In Restream, Ken.
Seriously.
It's dope.
You guys ever smell a dank lager and it kind of smells like bud?
Yeah, man, hops.
Yeah, it's crazy. The shit
I don't know
legit smells like bud.
I don't know if this is what we just tell ourselves when we were in college or it's a real thing, but like, aren't hops and cannabis buds like cousins?
I didn't get that high.
Aren't they like same plant almost?
I don't know, man. You're the hippie.
Yeah. You work at the climate change company.
I know.
Yeah,
I should have worn my
me.
tie-dye shirt today. All right. So let's get back to my story. Then I want to talk about Watershed at some point. But okay, started making websites. What's up, Ken?
Yeah, your websites.
No, I was going to say I want to hear about Watershed right now, but you keep going about the.
No. Let him do the whole journey.
Yeah. So started making websites in high school. Each of us, I was a group of like nerd dude friends, and each of us had a different specialty, almost like our superpower. I was the JavaScript dude and the web dude. My other friend was like the desktop programming guy. He ended up working like building supercomputers for Microsoft. Someone was the Flash dude. Someone was the wiki dude. Anyway, so just started making websites and freelanced. And I never got a CS degree or anything. I took a Pascal class in high school, which is pretty dope. A C++ class, but then just started making websites, man. And I went to school for civil engineering and environmental engineering. So like, that environmental thing was always there. But I would go to these like meetups or these like industry events, and it was a bunch of old white dudes. This was in North Carolina, a bunch of old white dudes. And I was like, man, this like actual engineering thing looks pretty boring. And the part I loved most was always the MATLAB, just like programming stuff, doing data viz and stuff. And I was like, I just actually want to build websites as a career. So I somehow managed to finagle that into merging those things. So I joined a solar energy startup in San Francisco after school. So they brought me out to San Francisco. I was just writing PHP. I basically learned how to do like engineering. Like I remember the day I learned tab completion. This guy's like, you can just hit tab, I was like, what? Blew my mind. So I spent like 2 years at this company Sunrun in San Francisco, working on solar energy financing. And then I was like, you know what? This is basically it's basically like a finance company started by a bunch of iBankers. And they like didn't know how to do software. Like, Ken, maybe you know something about this, like finance companies not knowing how to do software.
Not my finance company, but the vast majority.
Yeah. And so anyway, I was in San Francisco. It was like 2010 era. And I was like, man, I want to work at like a Web 2.0 company, like consumer tech, with good design. Like, I don't think we even had a designer at Sunrun. And I somehow found Airbnb and met them, and it was like, this is incredible. So that was 2011 I joined.
Dude, that's so early.
That's fucking crazy.
It was wild, man. It was wild.
Take me out on the yacht sometime.
Yeah, seriously, why are we not at your house?
Hey, man, we're still in the quiet period.
Fair enough.
The IPO hasn't happened yet.
So you love the environment.
Then we're going on your yacht, right? We're going to go on your
yacht. But then we'll go.
You're an environment loving dude.
Yeah, man. For sure.
What do you do to get your environment rocks off around here in Jersey?
By the way, this is so weird that I can only see myself and not you guys. But it's for the audience.
Put it back to the regular 3-up.
Yo, actually, Ken, here in Jersey, like I've been trying to figure out like where to find the nature, because Jersey, there's like not a lot of like mountains and preserve and stuff as far as I can tell. There's the beach, which is great. So I guess we didn't talk about that, but like I basically live in New Jersey now. Like we moved when COVID hit, came down. We had got this house, like an Airbnb rental down the shore a couple years ago, near my wife's family. Like the whole idea is like it's like super close to her family where they are down here. And then the pandemic hit and we're like, screw Manhattan, and we just came down here. Now we basically going to live here because it's dope, and I don't miss the city that much.
Have you gone like northwest
in Jersey?
Yeah, like Pocono area.
No, man. I still need to explore more nature in the Jersey. I mean, we got the beach, which is dope, but
the beach is dope. If you go south, it's all like pine forest.
Yeah, which
is kind of dope. It's like if you've ever been to like a wild beach in Virginia, it's like that kind of shit.
Yeah.
But northwest, there's actually a lot of mountains and shit. It's pretty wild.
Isn't there a ski resort somewhere? It's like some shitty ski resort up in Jersey.
Yeah, Creek.
Mountain Creek.
Mountain Creek.
Yeah, but I mean, if you cross
Mediocre
over into PA, Mountain Creek is a fucking sheet of ice. But if you go over into Pennsylvania, like just go up north like 287 and then 80 and then cross over.
Yeah,
lots of fun to be had, especially mountainy shit if you like that.
I love mountainy shit, man. I mean, we've been going mostly up to like upstate. So we got friends that are in like Woodstock area, and up there
that's superb as well.
We go to the Berkshires.
Do you go to like Allaire State Park?
Yeah, man, Allaire State Park. That's right near. So we live on basically Allaire Road.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just a straight shot.
Do you ever go out to New Egypt?
No.
It's pretty wild. Like if you go out to like Collier's Mills or like New Egypt area, that's where the winery is.
Mm-hmm. That winery you mentioned with like the cougars.
Pretty serious. Yeah, the winery with the cougars, indeed. But pretty fun outdoors.
Dope. Yeah, I got to scope it. I mean, most of the outdoor shit we're doing is golf these days.
Dude, golf is that right? The adult Xbox. I've been playing golf every day.
You've been playing golf like fucking crazy, huh?
Dude, I play. First of all, I go every morning. I go hit at least 8 golf balls now.
And you're in Connecticut right now?
A large bucket of balls every morning at the range. I play like maybe 3 times a week, 4 times a week.
Nice.
Yeah, dude. I just like, and it's like instead of what happened was I was working out in the mornings and I was walking in the mornings, and then I was like, I could just go to the driving range in the mornings, and then I was like, or I could just call the golf course and try to get the earliest tee time possible, and then get special dispensation to play early. And so what I do is I wake up at the crack of dawn, and I just play 2 balls usually, and just
2 balls.
Slap that. Yeah, well, it's just me in the morning because it's like fucking 6:30, and just slap it.
But you
play like 9 or 18.
You rock a whole 18 with 2 balls.
Yeah.
Wow. Let's practice.
So my handicaps dropped from like this is like the first year I played like real golf, I think, since I was like a kid. And I was like somewhere like I was shooting over 100 basically every round, and now like I'm like shooting like I'm real close to breaking 90 like on a consistent basis. So I'm pretty
reps.
Handicaps like a 16, something like that. So 16, 17. So I'm getting good.
That's dope.
So I'm like excited. It's like, but I also play like every day, like so it's like embarrassing that I'm still this bad, but sport's fucking hard.
Hey man, you got your whole life to get good.
Right, exactly. So like dude, golf is fucking the only thing
amazing
that we still have.
You're living the life, man.
Spike, so do you play Spring Lake?
So so Spring Lake's just down around the corner from us, right? But so the thing is, my wife, she's the golfer, right? She grew up playing. She's from Jersey, and I'm the newbie, right? I'm trying to get over that hump. And I'm not over the hump yet. Like, it's still fucking frustrating. Like, I'm at the point where I get more good shots,
right?
But it's fucking hard. But we were looking at different golf clubs and things. My wife just joined Matitaconk.
Nice.
Matitaconk it's like 25 minutes from here. It's dope. Right? It's a national course. It's like Jackson Howell area.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's how you get.
It's dope. Yeah.
So like instead of playing golf, like my family were like, we're going skiing on the weekends, but like I like. The country club, and I went to camp. I went to like some like sleepaway camp. So there was like no way I was going to get good at golf, right? Because that's just not. I was good at like baseball and basketball and like roller hockey and shit. So played that at sleepaway camp, but like did not
golf camp.
And like not like golf camp, right?
Is it Jewish summer camp?
No, just regular ass summer camp.
Nice.
No Catskills for you?
No, I mean we're in Brant Lake, like upstate New York, but like
fair enough.
To the extent that like I'm sure that 75% of the chance. It wasn't like a Jewish summer camp, but there were Jews there because you're in the Northeast, and like camp is like a pretty Jewish fucking thing to do.
That's what I hear.
So, but it was pretty competitive actually. Camp was fucking dope. You woke up, fucking played sports for like 8 hours a day.
That's a great thing for a kid to do.
Refs and coaches and shit.
What awesome. Age bracket are we talking here?
Oh, from the time I was like 9 to like 14. 15? No, 8.
Did you snag some
dance camp girls?
Yeah.
Might have had my first kiss there.
Nice. Do you watch Wet Hot American Summer?
Oh yeah, that's such a great.
Is it just like
so
that?
Accurate. Although ours was like because ours wasn't co-ed, it was like way more like just like a lot more competitive, but we were like the douche camp.
I believe it.
Obviously.
I believe you went to douche camp.
Yeah, 100%.
Wholeheartedly.
I mean, isn't that what sets you on the course to like
That's actually where it starts.
Finance and blah blah.
That's no. It's like people think it's like you go to these like 5-6 schools in New York City, and then you go to Penn, and then you go to you go to Wharton, and then you go to Goldman Sachs, and that. No, it's actually douche camp.
Douche camp is where it originates.
Yeah.
See, I grew up in Belmar, which is a resort town right directly next to where Spike lives.
Yeah.
So there was no camp, but you're like feral children. You're just running around the beach all day long. We used to steal the tire air caps off of cars, chromies.
Nice.
And collect them, and then girls that would come down with their families, we would woo them with our degenerate charm. It was endearing, to say the least.
Right, because you were the year rounders, and then the summer vacation folks would come down.
That's right. And we'd be like, hey, I know a place.
Yeah. It's like you see Ozark. Do you watch Ozark on Netflix?
Yeah. It's
like that. You're like the Langmores.
That's right. Absolute Langmore situation.
Stealing boats and shit.
Stealing all the boats.
All right. Back to JavaScript for a second.
Oh yeah.
So not that I don't love talking about camp, but I do, and golf. It's like a big part of my life right now. But what I feel like JavaScript hasn't changed in like 2 years.
It's so fucking stagnant and shitty. Go, Spike. Tell us.
I mean, I don't know. So
I personally just don't think JavaScript has changed since like 2018. I don't think it's changed. It has not changed. There's been some shit in the deployment space. Like, yeah, it's cool. Like Vercel's fucking sweet. Netlify is cool. The serverless function thing. But like, we haven't, like, UI has not progressed at all since then. No, like, we love Rich Harris. Like, fucking shout out to Rich.
Yeah, he's a homie.
Okay, and Svelte is fucking sweet.
Yep. React sucks.
But shit hasn't changed since 2018. Disgusting.
Yo, I'm gonna throw this out there. A shout out to Evan Yu as well, because he's the homie, and that shit is fucking sweet.
Yeah, Vue 3 looks sweet as fuck.
Yeah.
Okay, so Vue 3 was cool, and Svelte was pretty lit. They're catching up, They're catching up.
Yeah.
I mean, the trip for me is, so I like kind of recently came back to an IC role where I'm coding every day. I took this detour into Airbnb's R&D lab, which was like a whole story. I like joined the back alley group that was like wears all black and is like designing the future and, like pretty out there. And so I was in the back alley for like 2.5 years, like 2017 to 2019, 2020. So while all this amazing shit was happening in the JavaScript world, I was kind of on the sidelines just watching on Twitter. And I felt like I was totally falling behind. And then I ended up running the R&D group, and we were working on this like computer vision stuff and whatever. But then anyway, that ended. And then I went back to an IC role, and I was like, holy shit, like 3 years worth of JavaScript development. It's like, I had to learn GraphQL. I had to learn TypeScript, like VS Code, like all this shit, man. So like from my perspective, there's this huge jump, but I just, I saw
it might be like a timing risk though, right? Like, I feel you. I guess like relative, let's talk about other languages. Like Java doesn't actually Java's doing a lot of shit that's cool, but like a lot of languages like don't really mature like very quickly. But I guess now that's the expectation. I think Ken and I have been on TypeScript for like mad long. And so like that's old news to us. But I feel you, like if I was like not in JavaScript land and then I came, like from 2016, 2017, I came back 2020, I think TypeScript would be like the biggest fucking change. Like in 2016, like TypeScript was like, what the fuck is this .ts thing? And then in 2020, it's like, why is this .js? Like, why?
I remember seeing TypeScript like
fucking living in the Matrix.
Fucking like 6-8 years ago or something like that.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, I feel really bad. There was one time when I was evaluating a candidate for the Palmer Group, the agency, like the whole thing, and I saw this like TypeScript repo, and it was TypeScript React, and this was like fucking 2015. I was like, the fuck is this? What the fuck is TypeScript? Or like, it was like,
right?
And I was like, who the fuck is this guy? No.
I was like, I'm never ever writing this shit.
I'm sure that candidate is like a fucking G and like absolutely was.
And Flow was the cool kid on the block because that was like cool. Microsoft and React Native and shit and React, but then TypeScript was like Microsoft.
So I remember at the time, I was talking to the product manager for TypeScript, Dan Rosenwasser, right?
We have to get on this podcast.
You have to get on the podcast.
We have to get him on the podcast.
And I'm telling him, I'm like, listen, I have Babel. I do not need TypeScript to be my compiler, transpiler, whatever you want to call it. I just want the type checking, right? Because Babel was way faster for getting like the proposals into translation plugins.
Does what? Is it like stage 17 stage order it goes into?
Yeah,
like they only do like stage. They only do stage two, like quantum or whatever the fuck.
2 or 3 or whatever the fuck.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then like it wasn't as good of a React story, right? Like it didn't have like now it has JSX and like JSX generics and everything like that. And
where like a higher component in TypeScript is like gnarly.
Yeah.
So, I talked to him and gave him my feedback. Like, it's just not as easy to use, right? And then, like, I don't know, I was fucking off doing something, probably not even writing types, right? Like, using Flow, like, very, very fucking sparingly.
Mm-hmm.
And then out of nowhere, it just became, like, thoroughly supported. And now the shit is just everywhere. Like, I write TypeScript exclusively right now.
I don't write JavaScript. It's not.
I haven't typed .js in fucking 2.5 years, to be honest with you. Actually, to be honest with you, fucking 3 years, 3.5 years.
Yeah, I moved 80,000 lines of Flow to TypeScript in like a month, and after that was in early 2017, and I never looked back after. I never wrote another line of JavaScript after that.
And I only get stricter with the shit.
Yeah, for sure.
No, that's why TSDX's settings are so strict. There's no reason why like you should not be writing the strictest TypeScript. There's literally no. I mean,
one thing
you can allow any, but there's no reason you shouldn't be using the fullest amount of like type checking. Like, there's no reason for it.
I'm in a new code base now, and it's all TypeScript on the front end, and it's like it's so much easier. It's so much easier at Airbnb. Obviously, we had 10-year-old code base or whatever it was. And trying to migrate stuff over, and it took a lot of effort. But they did just release this open source thing called TS Migrate, which is I think it's a CLI tool that like does a lot of good shit.
So I have a question for you. Now you've gone from Airbnb to like startup land.
Yeah.
Right. What's like the biggest thing at Airbnb? What's the like one thing you wish you could have take from Airbnb with you that you don't have?
Oh man, I think I got one major thought, but I think in general, like
I would say there's like some proprietary shit that you clearly just thought of, and there were like maybe four or five other things. But like, what are the things you can tell us on the podcast?
So actually, there's a really dope thing that Jake Gyllenhaal made right before he left. Leland Richardson, right before he left for Google, and I want to talk about that. But first, I just want to say I'm super happy about like the talent, the quality of front end talent at Airbnb got super, super high, super dope. We had like all these homies. So just like the raw talent making shit great was amazing. And because we had this huge code base and we had this awesome like mono repo set up. And this is what Leland did right before he left. His like parting gift was like, take this thing. And so I think we should open source it. I don't know if it is yet, but it's like, basically it's this mono repo kind of setup for the JavaScript where there's like in your source folder, there's all these top level folders, and each one has a project.json. And there's all this tooling around and linting around like not being able to have like circular dependencies between projects, and just like a super awesome story for like monorepo JavaScript. And then I'd say what one of the things that we innovated on, which was dope, Joe Lenciani, shout out to Joe and Maya Wicharowska, so Storybook is dope, right? Obviously Storybook's awesome.
No, it's dope, dude.
Yeah, it's a cool tool. Like, I actually fucking hate it, so I don't know if I'm gonna throw it out. Like,
here's the thing, like raw Storybook is like take it or leave it. But when you layer a bunch of other shit on top of your stories, it gets super powerful, right? So we wrote this thing, I can
appreciate that
variation provider thing where you write your stories in this like general format, and you can feed it to these different tools. And so
and then, what combinatorically like shows all the props or something.
No, man, it's more like for like different, like running different kinds of things in CI against a story. So there's cool. So there's like Storybook, right, which is an output, but then you have diffing, like screenshot testing, right? Screenshot diffing with Hapo.io. And so like amazing on every PR, you can see all the diffs. And then there's like, you can throw that to Axe, which is like accessibility testing.
Yeah.
And then you can have it, and then it also serves as basically your test coverage. So you write a story and you get all the shit, and we kept adding like additional plugins on top of it. So it was just like so much leverage that you would get by having that story. And I think that's something
would that test take? Just curious, like how if you make a change to not button, because that's like probably fucking everywhere, but like let's change to like the reservation system, like part of the form in part of the profile page. Like walk me through what happens at Airbnb and like how fast that you see that change. Like what would that look like?
So it always like the time always increases. And then like someone fixes something and it goes down, and then it kind of like increases. Mm-hmm. Someone fixes something, but that's one of the amazing things about the project, the kind of monorepo setup that Leland started, and then our team like made awesome. Which is if you isolate the dependencies and there's no circular dependencies, so you can just build the thing for that subfolder, right? And it can be a super narrow folder. So it could be on best case like 5 minutes you get results. Because you shard it out across like a bunch of different machines, like CI machines and stuff, and build kite, and then but it used to be like 30 minutes, but then you can get it down to like 5-7 minutes, and you can got all your lint errors, your type errors, and then like all the other shit.
5 minutes is I think is like that's the gold standard. Like I think if you
that's maybe a bit of an exaggeration, but yeah, that would be legit.
I think 5. I mean, I would say. If you go north of 7 or 8, you're going to do something else between when you push and when you like see the test. Like you're gonna fucking open Twitter. Yeah.
That's why I was on Twitter so much at Airbnb. I was like, what else am I gonna do?
I don't know, Ken. What do you think the threshold is?
I think less. I think like fucking like 3-4 minutes. And that's not always possible with a very large code base. I've worked on very large code bases before, and I appreciated the build times because it would be when I fucked off. I get to go do whatever the fuck I wanted to do, right? If you're like the owner of the shit, right? Obviously that sucks, but like right now, like my builds are quite quick. So I have no time to fuck off. But I've been in scenarios
How fast are we talking, Ken? How fast is redacted?
I don't know, like fucking a minute and 30 seconds.
For the full build?
The fuck?
Yeah.
Are you serious? Damn. The whole platform?
I mean, half the shit's C++, so.
Damn, dude, these finance.
And then, like, for like the front end, right? We do like some very aggressive like build asset caching and shit to speed it up. Yeah. It used to take quite some time.
Yeah. Sure.
But we you build it. I forget exactly what fucking plugin is, but whatever it is the DLL plugin. It perhaps I don't remember exactly, but it aggressively
1 minute
caches
sub
shit.
2 minutes is fucking that's what's up.
That's hot, as Damascus says. That's hot.
It's a Jenkins based deal.
Jenkins,
yeah.
I just recently moved off of Jenkins, to like actions and stuff. But
okay, are you guys even drinking right now? Like,
no, dude, I'm
on my fourth. I'm on my fourth beer.
I'm very close to wasted. We're gonna finish this bottle through this podcast. Like this.
I am 4 beers deep. I just want to let you know.
This is a very good episode of the Undefined, folks.
That's impressive. I mean, it's been a while. There's a lot to catch up on.
I know, right? Like Ken
really do.
Ken and I were talking. We probably had like mini episode phone calls that we should be like releasing. But basically, what I should have. I just like call Ken and I just like tell him all my problems, and he tells me the answers and tells me I'm a pussy. It's great.
I tell him
we can do that right now.
If we release those phone calls, the public service that would provide, because we really went deep on some shit that like people probably encounter at work. We talked about a lot of things.
So I in between March and now, I implemented real time, but then not. I called Ken about. Okay, so I called you about real time, right? I called you about
deep tree updates,
Chakra in Chakra UI, and how like that shit's whack. We profiled the app. I called you about like API surfaces for like next level for like control, and then we talked like deeply about like C++ and TSDX like future.
Yeah.
Nerds.
Dude, I'll never forget, dude. I'm at this company, right? And we had this dude from New Zealand working there. And these other dudes talking about something that was particularly nerdy. And I'll never forget, it's the funniest fucking thing that ever happened, right? He stands up and he goes, Neds. Neds. I fucking died on the spot. I was like, oh my God.
Jared, I want to learn about your company, right? So you started this company like a year ago, right?
Yeah. So I've been building this shit for like a year, and it's actually live right now. Like I haven't like launched it to the Twitter, but I'm sure now people like watching or people watching like they can go for it now live.
And it was initially around like Formic, the form library, right?
It was.
And is it still that's still a thing?
It's evolved. Yeah, it is. It no longer depends on Formic. And what happened was basically, so it's a headless form builder. What does that mean? So like instead of using like Typeform and SurveyMonkey, they like now let you build your form in their UI and then they render the form for you on SurveyMonkey.com or Typeform.com, and you can go fuck yourself if you want to put that into your app.
iframe,
right? iframe land, right? They go iframe, and that's cool. But like we're developers here, folks. So basically what Formium, the difference between that and Formium is that Formium just gives you like a REST API to your form schema. And then like you can do whatever you want, like go wild. But like Formium React is a library helper that I wrote that basically helps you not have to deal with the schema of the form or have to read the API. You just pass in like text input, text area, like the basics. And then like we figure out the rest for you. And so basically it ends up being like an in-house form builder
dope,
for your own shit. And then like the idea is that like long-term vision, we're not there yet. Like we have kick-ass conditional logic, but like we're going to go like component by component and just knock that shit out the park. And then all you have to do is pass in, and like we'll move like Formium React like as it expands too. You just like pass in your primitives and we'll just spit out fucking forms. And so like there's a form wizard component that's like the initial one, but like there's no reason why we can't build like the type form style, like one question at a time, or like other like things I haven't thought of yet. Like, I don't know.
So
just, like,
what's
forms or other things like that. It's just like a schema basically. So it's like, and then on top of that, so it's like the form editor, right? And then the other services that we like decoupled is storage. So you can just like store random shit with us. And then automations, you can like send emails, webhooks, Zapier, all that stuff. So it's like taking the form builder and then decoupling it into like it's like smaller, like more developer, smaller parts.
We're just working on like an auth system at some point, like a plug and play.
Yeah, coming too, yeah. So that's coming shortly. So that's like the idea is like, okay, so if you want to even just like save your form, save your progress and come back, like you'll be able to do auth with us too. So we're actually like taking all the forms in your app and just making it like way easier to deal with them. And then,
is that it? Like basically all these components, like people pay for the service, right? And they can like compose these different services and components together to like more easily build a product without having to fuck with a bunch of backend stuff.
Pretty much, yeah. So it's like you don't need like your support, like the iteration of the product. The biggest iteration was versus like Guillermo. Shout out to Guillermo.
Yeah,
Guillermo. Yo, Jared, like, what's the deal with Formium? Like, what's up? And also, we have this support form that like we really need to like not fucking staff engineers on. And I was like, yeah, it'd be pretty sweet if you and so he was like, do you want to just like initially like it started as a storage service, just like the storage. Like we were an agency, we just had a lot of forms, just need to store like random ass JSON data and like send email thank you notes. That's what we had to do. And then Guillermo DMing was like, we have this thing in Vercel, like with this support request form, and like people are like logged in, and like we pretty much know what they want, but like when they ask for support at Vercel, it's like, what's your deployment URL? Oh, is it a DNS problem? Is it an account problem? Is it a billing? They're like, they need a form. They need a form for support, and then it needs to go to like,
form.
Right, they need a smart form. But what they don't want to do is they don't want to staff a product engineer that's working on like all the cool shit they're working on on this form. They want to have like somebody else. So I was like, hold on. So basically what ended up happening is we had this form builder, and the idea was like, okay, what if we have this form builder that was like MDX, but like for your form. So like all you do is pass in the components, you configure it in the UI, and then boom, slap, you get the form, you deploy it, and then like everybody on the team can alter it, but it's like you already have the design system, you already have all the parts of all the pieces of the puzzle that you already built all this shit. Like, why are you like using Typeform's version of it? Mm-hmm. And then also you can just pass in like the contextual information you need, like who the user is, all the stuff you normally have like in the app, in like your code base.
Because it's just React.
Because it's just React, right? And so like that's like so he's just like, I need this, and so we built it.
Dope. And so this is the build. You're starting this business.
Yeah.
A few questions. Are you still doing the agency work to like fund it at all? And second question is, do you have employees yet?
So, fun fact. So I worked probably towards like middle of 2019, like early part of 2019. I actually staffed some of the while I was still at the agency, staffed agency engineers like on it, and then after Croatia, after some Croatia trips, after the Vision Quest, was like, I gotta just do this. This is it. And so
was that you talking about Yacht Week?
That was Yacht Week, yeah. So after that, I was like, you gotta do this full time. And so basically like came back last fall, met with a bunch of VCs, was like evaluating, raising a bunch of capital, ended up like not choosing to do it, turned down some offer sheets, and then just basically spent like the last year like heads fucking down, self-funding everything. Mm-hmm. And we just hired and basically like using contractors to like help out with shit where necessary.
You've got a pretty interesting story about how you self-funded it. I don't know if that's public.
Oh yeah, so like I sold some domains. That's cool.
Yeah.
You know, that's
some cocaine.
No, domains.
Like that's what's like. So your dad was an internet OG, internet marketing OG. So
he barmitzvah.com and botmitzvah.com and
shit.
So I sold some domains.
You own barmitzvah.com?
I own barmitzvah.com. I actually still do. I didn't sell barmitzvah.com. I own barmitzvah.com. I own sweet16.com. I own botmitzvah.com.
Because
all of these domains are like worth more than $1 million, by the way.
And your dad?
I don't know. It's not a liquid market. I don't know this.
Right. Can you park a bunch of ads on there?
Probably. Also, my mom owns djp.com. And I know like that's not the big deal, but it's a 3-letter domain name and a .com.
Yeah.
That's like there's like a lot of Chinese investors that think that shit.
Can I have botmitzvah.com?
I think we might be able to like park something there. It's like the time like whatever.
We should make.
I want to make a porn website.
I know it's super Jewish from the chat. Like, look at this from the chat. That's super Jewish. That's fucking money.
Oh man.
It is. But also understand
all cut.
Once this COVID shit ends, that shit's more gonna be worth. So like I haven't sold it. I haven't sold all of them yet because like that shit is just gonna go up in price.
Yeah, I mean it's like basically gold. I mean,
dude, that is unfucking-lievable.
You got to turn it. It should be just like a fun domain. You put like a fun website up, like a fun, stupid, like glitchy 8-bit bullshit on.
Just put up some dumb shit there.
Yeah, why not? Like just absurdist.
Yeah, just like really weird. I was just looking at you ever been to the web? What's it called? The Web Museum? No, like the Web Archive. I don't know. It's like it's like .com and like we're showing like spacejam.com and all this other shit. And like, the web used to fuck so hard.
Man, it was dope. It was dope. I gotta say, one reason, this is random, but one of the reasons that I think I got into the web, just one of those like Malcolm Gladwell style like outliers things, is like, so my dad worked at the telco, right? So we were one of the first people around in the 90s to have broadband. Right?
No way.
Yeah, we had DSL super early. So I could like play Age of Empires online and like download things on the internet.
Go to download GIFs.
GIFs.
All right, wait, hold on. Are you a GIF or GIF?
Dude, it's fucking GIF, man.
No,
Thank you.
Incorrect.
It's fucking GIF. It is not GIF.
The guy who made it is fucking GIF.
Actually, Ken. But actually, it's whatever the opposite of whatever the person just said.
That's fair.
As a rule.
Yeah, absolutely as a rule.
It's whatever the next is.
Oh man,
just fuck with them.
It's definitely GIF, but
if you really want to fuck with people, you should change it up mid conversation.
Oh shit!
Listen. GIF graphics done.
It's like okay, right. The peanut butter Jiffy spelled with a J.
Gorilla,
that's all. That's mic drop, right? That's it.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway,
so you're early in it. So first of all, Age of Empires something edition comes out. It's awesome, apparently.
Age of Empires 3 Definitive Edition. Dude, Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition came out in November, and I wasn't much of a streamer, like a Twitch watcher, but man, there's this one dude I watch stream. He like casts Age of Empires 2, and it's the shit.
Dude, I think Age of Empires is great.
You guys are pussies. I play fucking Civ like a fucking adult.
Dude, I thought you were gonna say COD.
Ken and I haven't like played COD in a while, but like I've seen I DM'd you to join my party that night. But yeah, I bet pro Civ players are fucking great to watch.
Can you know the real COD loadout though in real life?
Did you see this thing like the
I actually do. It's so funny when 13-year-old kids kill you with guns that you own.
Oh, like, in COD? Yeah, COD is just brutal.
I'm like, you little fucks.
Okay, so I just talk about how we're all like per friendly, and like, I don't know, 3 of us probably spend a lot of time and money and energy just like making like the web faster and optimizing performance. Can we talk about how COD is like 7 uploads and like 117 million gigabytes?
What the crazy?
But it doesn't matter because it's a one-time thing. It's like
you wait for it, don't you?
The web is handicapped because it all has to be on demand, right? If it doesn't have to be on demand, you just let your Xbox sit there for an hour or whatever. There was actually a Twitter thread about this weekend or the last few days.
Nobody ever left Pornhub over a loading spinner.
But I refreshed the page. Pornhub's
you didn't leave.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Written in view. No
really?
Comment.
Yeah, I read some shit on like Hacker News that they're like evaluating View. They have like legacy shit, but they're like apparently like just now evaluating View.
What an honor and a privilege it would be for them to use my technology.
Speaking of, that's actually a great segue because at this new gig, so at the old gig at Airbnb, we had all sorts of in-house shit, right?
Yeah.
But at this new gig, we're using Formic.
Oh,
we're using Urkel.
Oh.
And we're using Victory.
Dude, but that VX, Victory aside, that VX thing is pretty tight.
Dude, VX, I think the new name for 1.0 is VizX. Yeah, so hella shout out to Harry Schoaf, Chris Williams, the Airbnb fucking crew who just released 1.0 of VizX, which is a beautiful React visualization library.
Dude, it's chef kiss.
And like Harry Schoaf, if you're listening, buddy, he's the #1 most tenured engineer at Airbnb. I was trying to become the #1 most tenured engineer, but after almost 10 years, he fucking held out, man. He joined in November or something, 2010. Wow. And I was like, is he ever going to leave so I can be #1? But he's there, man.
So
yeah,
I need to make a confession, and that is that I can take about 30% credit for Urkel.
Yeah.
Wow.
Whoa. Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Because people took over the project, right?
Urkel in current form is, at very least 70% Phil plucked on at Formidable. He's done incredible things with that project. I must know, do you use exchanges? Do you use a normalized cache or do you use a document cache?
Let me pull up my code base. But there's a few exchanges that I saw which are like debug, I think mostly. What'd you say, Jared?
Do you use the document cache or the normalized cache?
I don't even know.
The default?
Let me pull. Yeah, probably whatever the default is. Let me pull VS Code.
Because then you're using my cache, which is cool.
Cache money. So we've got an error exchange. I don't think we've got that many exchanges defined.
So what you're saying, Ken, is that your impact is diminished somehow.
Debug. Oh, cache. Here's the cache.
I'm just giving credit where credit is due.
Yeah, no, I say Urkel's evolved quite a bit.
Cache exchange. Exchange-graph cache. Who's that? Is that you?
Yeah, you're the normalized one, which is dope.
Normalized caching. Yeah. That's our reason in the code base. Yeah.
So,
but
I've heard mixed reviews of Apollo.
We used Apollo at Airbnb. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Probably a big fatty contract.
Fatty. Do we have to pay for it? Is there like a commercial license?
No comment.
Probably for like the Federation thing or whatever.
Oh, we don't think we did that. I mean, just the open source shit we used.
Nice.
But you know what's so interesting about Apollo is like, you know the history of the company?
Yeah, it's Meteor, bro.
So Meteor Development Group, which was a bunch of fucking badass, early, brilliant motherfuckers who created this amazing isomorphic thing with their own custom bundler and all this shit. And apparently people still use Meteor. Did you know that?
Yeah,
People
very much
still
so.
use Meteor. And Meteor was started by ex-Asana people because the fucking co-founders of
rendered and shit, right? Like Asana's like all like virtualized like on the server and they sync it or something.
I mean, it was once upon a time, maybe still, but like early on, it was one of the. If you go look at my my early like JSConf Asia presentations about isomorphic JavaScript, you'll see the reference. But they're one of the early users of quote isomorphic JavaScript back when it was V8 CGI. So before Node even existed, there was this like V8 CGI project. And they created this whole fucking custom thing like called Luna, which had fibers. They used fibers, like custom C++ plugin for fibers. And yeah, it was fucking crazy. But anyway, so some of those guys went and started Meteor, and then Meteor created Apollo, and Apollo became this runaway success. And they ended up selling the Meteor development group part of it to Tiny. You know Tiny, Andrew Wilkinson's
like Tiny
company?
MCE?
Shit, right? Like all that stuff.
Tiny MC, that's hilarious.
Am I wrong?
Yep. So, yeah, he's got basically it's a VC kind of company that owns a bunch of these different internet companies. Like they own Dribbble and all this stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
And they buy. They're kind of like a equity company. I don't know shit about finance, but it's kind of like it's like a holding company for all these little internet companies that basically they struggle to raise VC funding because they're not like a venture scale business, but they're just a profitable internet company. So they buy up all these internet companies, and so they bought Meteor, and so Apollo is its own thing now.
I should start an internet company.
But it's still the same people.
Oh, right. Like the same people still the same people. Yeah.
I think the, Meteor, to their credit, got like a lot of shit right. What they got wrong was like betting against NPM and like inventing their own thing, like Atmosphere. Like that was not go there.
But they had to because they had their own format for isomorphic like modules and shit, right?
No. I get it, right?
But but it was still
fighting against.
Do you guys think I could beat both of you in a fight?
What's that?
Do you guys think I could beat both of you in a fight at the same time?
Is that the fifth beer talking?
That's the fourth. I'm opening the fifth right now.
That's the fourth.
I just want to know what you think because I feel like I could beat both of you up at the same time. Do you think that I could?
You really think you could take you'd be like It Man, like you just like fuck us up, like put people at the same time? I don't think so, Ken. Like
you don't think so?
I maybe like Fat Thor right now, but like I feel like competent enough. I don't know. I'm pretty weak though.
Were you trained in Krav Maga?
Just pretend you're holding a driver.
Exactly. Or like all you got to do is reach Ken's gun safe and it's over.
Straight. Yeah.
And raise your hand if you know where the gun safe is.
One of the funniest conversations I've ever had was like early on in the pandemic when Ken was just like pissed off that it wasn't like way cooler. Ken was like, I wish this shit was more intense. Like I have the best starting position for this fucking episode, this fucking level. And I literally have the AK. I already have the AK.
Yeah, it was like like if the world's gonna end, like that's like my time to shine.
You were pretty excited about like you and your neighbor like defending the neighborhood.
Zombies up. All right, we got a question from this Spike.
Damascus.
Oh gosh, I don't know. I mean, how are they related? Like, I guess blockchain is its own like stack, right? And then web dev could be just a front end to it. So I think they're pretty like abstracted from each other. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Coinbase is doing cool shit. Coinbase has hired some amazing people. I was thinking about going there. They got Jordan Harband from Airbnb, who's on TC39. Got some amazing folks. But they're doing super cool shit. Like they're betting heavy on React Native, and they're hiring for a role that's like trying to figure out how to push the boundaries on how you share your code between web and React Native.
Is Coinbase written in React Native?
Well, no. So they got a blog post, I don't know, a couple months ago, but they originally wrote native apps. Then the Android team was like, fuck it, like whatever, we can't support this. And then they were like, let's rewrite it in React Native. And so they did. I think they got a couple different apps, but like one of the apps they rewrote in React Native, and they're like, oh, this is dope. And then they're betting the farm on React Native, as far as I understand. And they're trying to like share as much code between web and native, which by the way is isomorphic JavaScript.
Brrr. By the way, I need to address one of these comments. Suicidio, this is not liquid courage, this is fact. But also, I feel like me and you would be a fair fight. You're a pretty big dude. So I'm just throwing that out there.
I think the courage comes from all the working out and the guns.
Look, it just popped up.
I know. I love the so good.
I only need 2 guns, and they're right here and here.
Bam!
Oh, Kenneth.
Dude, I've been meaning to ask you, Ken, actually. You can't really tell right now, but my right bicep is so much bigger than my left one. And I've even been doing like double reps on the left, and like I try to like carry my groceries on the left side, but I can't.
Do you have some kind of like repetitive action there?
Maybe very repetitive.
No, it's. I don't think it's beating off.
I'm ambidextrous, but I don't know. Like, I don't know, man. Just like, because your strong arm, you always reach for shit, right? You always do stuff with your strong arm. So I'm trying to like do stuff with my.
Really, you know what it is? Sometimes shit is weird. Like my left titty is way bigger than my right titty. I don't know why that is.
And way too much information.
No, I'm just saying, like when you're lifting, right? You're like bench pressing, like, there's just certain dominance. No, it doesn't really tilt, but like you could feel that one like utilizes the pec more, the other one falls back on like a lat and a shoulder a little bit more.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Physiologically speaking, it's curious.
By the way, change the subject. I have a legitimate JavaScript question I need advice on.
Shoot.
Okay.
So at new job at Watershed Climate or Watershed. By the way, I want to talk about the business too because it's pretty interesting. But so I'm coming into this code base, and it's a Python code base, right? Python on the back end because there's a lot of data pipeline stuff because we're crunching a bunch of numbers. But currently, the GraphQL server and some of the web like serving stuff is in Python. I've never worked in Python, so I spent the day like Googling how do you do like string compare in Python and shit. But we're gonna replace that with TypeScript on that server side for the GraphQL side. And so I think it's the time to decide if we want to use like a JavaScript web framework, because currently it's just create React app, right? It's just a total Jamstack client rendered create React app. But I'm trying to decide, should we go with Next, which is what I'm pulling for because Guillermo's a beast and what they've been doing is awesome. Ryan Florence and Michael Jackson are working on Remix, which I want to hear your perspective on if you've been reading their newsletters. It's like a React router based like SSR web framework. And then there's Blitz, and which is like trying to be like a Rails thing. And then Redwood.js, which is like really trying to be the Rails of the TypeScript world, which is really interesting. So I'm curious if y'all been thinking about these different frameworks at all.
Do you actually require server rendering?
No.
So
then don't do it.
But I will say this. I'll say the DX of Next is still like pretty good if you're not even server rendering. But I will say that like you can also use DX as a build system with React Router or any other router you want. You don't have to use their router. Like if you just render one route, you can just like build an SPA with Next.js and just like leverage all their Webpack and build shit, but not use their router.
I mean, what's awesome about Next is that on a per route basis, you can choose if you want client-side rendering, SSR, SSG, and
so what I would say is like the best. What I would say right now is I would probably just use Next. And the reason for that is that you get and also like I don't know where your marketing site is, but
but it's just
you can just keep the marketing shit static. You can, if and when you end up needing server rendering, if you never do, then like that's a different discussion. Like if you absolutely 100% never need server rendering, then like that's kind of a different discussion. But if there's any inkling of the chance you might need it, then like Next.js is great. It scales infinitely because of the way they're routing things.
And you gotta bet on Vercel, man. They're getting everything right. That's what I believe.
Yeah, they're getting a lot of things right. I love my boy. I
can't recommend Next enough.
Yeah. I literally think Vercel Next is the shit. We run everything at Formium on Vercel and except for the back end, and like run all the front end shit. I recently moved the marketing site, the docs, and eventually like the form renderer that like renders our hosted forms all onto Vercel Next.js one app because it's just
do you SSG the docs?
We SSG the docs. We SSG the blog, which is powered by Notion, and the guides, which is powered by Notion. We SSG that shit using like unofficial Notion APIs, and then the marketing pages are all SSG'd.
That's hot.
The form pages, the actual pages themselves use we obviously headless, but we still like host this thing like because we might as well eat our own dog food, and those are like get server side props.
Yeah, man, that's shit. Fucking isomorphic. Am I right?
Isomorphic. You are right. And what's nice about that is that like it's all like one thing. And then But like the main dashboard is still like create React app, and I'm trying to get the fuck off of this thing as fast as possible. So like I've started lifting all of my data fetching up to the top level and like preparing to the move. But that shit is such a pain. It just doesn't scale. Like create React app just doesn't scale.
Yeah,
like
I mean it's great for what it is, but like I mean Next is such a great starting point.
I think React app is dead though. Like real talk, I'm pretty sure it's dead. Really? Yeah, like I'm pretty sure there's no fun. Like there's no like backing. Like they're just like doing other stuff at Facebook right now. Like they just don't have the means.
It's not even Facebook. It's community driven at this point.
It's community driven at this point. It's not even a thing. So like it's not an option. And then like obviously we don't need to say it. Like it's not even. You don't even say the G word. It's not even real.
No, not even.
Not even a joke. But yeah, I think this is it. I mean, I think it's roll your own shit. I guess like roll your own shit. Cool. Like, fuck. I mean, like, look, I understand Razzle, and by the way, Razzle 4 is like coming out, and it's like cool shit these guys are working.
Oh yeah.
I like run the team that runs it, and they're actually doing cool shit. Like they have there's like a new export API that is like, but like we're not VC backed. Like it's a bunch of people like working, free time shit. So like, dude, use Next. Like, don't be dumb.
Yeah. Right. I mean, that's what I figured. It's like it's the obvious choice. It's the obvious choice. So that's what I'm going to push for.
The home team works on that shit. Like,
time,
like,
like Nicole Sullivan and everything. Like, it's really dope actually to see how they interact with the Next team, and like they're actually trying to make the web better.
All right. So Spike, you're one. So you're OG like Airbnb. So tell people who are like their own thing. Like, if you were to pick, like, if Airbnb was like restarted today, and you were to apply the Airbnb stack to what it was like today, what would it be?
Man, so early days it was Rails, right?
Yeah, it was Rails, right.
And we did a lot of good stuff with Rails, and then I was the one pushing the boundaries on the website, on the JavaScript side. But these days, I think like, man, just use Next. Like, just use,
I feel like Next. And what would you
use React Next?
Yeah,
like
I feel that.
Like, why not? I mean, so I've got friends that are starting startups, and they're asking me about like Prisma and all these different things, and I'm pushing Redwood. Like, I've never used Redwood, but I like the idea behind it. I like, Tom Preston Werner's on it. He's like super OG web dude. And
so are you a fan of GraphQL?
Yeah, it's dope.
You think it's great?
I mean, I don't know. I'm not super experienced on it, right? Like when I went back to the IC role at Airbnb, writing code every day, all that shit was already configured. So I started learning and using it, and it seems great, right? You avoid underfetching and overfetching, and I know all the talking points from 2017. But it seems legit. I don't know what you've got. It sounds like a loaded question.
No, I just like. I mean, like, I feel like it ain't it. That's just my. It's definitely better. But I think there's like room to go. Like I think there's like it's not all. It's like it's not expressive enough. Is my biggest thing. It's like
expressive enough.
Yeah, like it should be able to do a little bit more, in my opinion. Like from the specification side of things, like on the server, like you should be able to create like it's the workflow. I don't think is right from. I don't think it's the end product. I think we're on the right track with GraphQL, but I just don't think there's other shit that's missing. Like it needs to be like a script. It needs to not be a static like configuration. What I mean by that is you should be able to like now with TypeScript, we're getting to this like next generation of TypeScript with like all those like template literal types and stuff like that, like these function types and stuff. I just think like GraphQL needs not to be QL, it should be like GraphScript. And there should be a way to like generate types like these like endpoints using like primitives in a way that is more composable and like more like programming language like instead of just like trying to replicate SQL on the client in like an RPC format. But like I appreciate it. I think it's fucking sweet. I think Relay is like fucking amazing. But
that's the thing.
I feel like we're not there yet. Also, like, what flavor of GraphQL are you using, right? Like, are you using Amplify? Are you using Apollo? Are you using Urko? Like, it's like GraphQL is like a loaded term, right? Like, it's not the same shit. Like, it's just got, these code bases are vastly different.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think it's cool. I just don't think that, I don't think GraphQL is like what it will be. I don't think GraphQL will be around in like 10 years. Personally.
You don't think so?
No.
Why not?
So, I mean, dude, listen, you FTP'd something to PHP file today. You don't think GraphQL is gonna be around in 10 years?
No, it'll be around, but I don't think it's as popular as it is. I think there'll be other things that are more popular.
What'll be the successor?
Like more of like a proto buff.
I think like durable objects or some shit like that will be more interesting. Like this CDN edge shit is just way more fascinating, where you just like write it.
But you still might need it, like as a transfer format, as a way to kind of interface between different systems. It's still pretty dope.
No, I think it's sweet. I just think like GraphQL, something like I think there's. I don't think it's. So Ken, you were out. I think like it's not exactly expressive enough. I think that there needs to be some more programming language levels to it.
Well, what was the Netflix thing? Because I've heard that was
Falcor.
the shit, but they don't do it anymore.
Falcor.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Netflix, man, they go hard, man.
Yeah, they do.
They do go hard. It's nuts. And prod, they like fucking fail prod all the time. It's like really impressive.
Damascus wants proto buffs explained in the comments. Jared, can you do that?
No.
What is Eli
Ken,
5? Is that elucidate?
Explain like I'm 5. Eli 5.
Oh, it's like a Reddit shit.
Do you even Reddit?
Do you do proto buffers?
Oh, man, on Twitter. Proto buffs?
I can't.
So okay, explain like if I so protobuf, it's a format from Google that basically it's a binary serialization format, right? So it's a versioned format where you need to like say either you want to store something for good or you want to transfer it over an API. It's like a typed binary format. It's imagine like a typed JSON, but binary, so it's super fast and super like compressed. And it's from Google. And then Thrift is like the open source version. And Thrift was created by Mark Slee at Facebook. Mark went out to be like a badass like house music DJ. Dude, check out his SoundCloud, Mark Slee.
That's so crazy.
He's such a badass, man. I go, man, so many tangents, but okay. Thrift is like the open source version. It's Apache Thrift now. And we use it at Airbnb, and it's actually pretty dope because like we basically migrated everything to the JVM on the back end, and we'd write these Thrift specification files that are typed, and then we generate all the GraphQL types and like Typescript types from it and everything. So you'd be fully stacked from all the way from like the Java layer to the front end layer. And that's
they use Java at Airbnb. How fun. Yeah, so we talked earlier about like Node stuff, right? Like I just like don't think you should be writing backends in Node.
Oh yeah.
That's
Cosine.
That's for sure.
This is
not back end.
I just think a bad idea. I think front ends in Node are fine. All right, we got to move to picks and like anyway. But for the last little point of this, I don't think you should write backends in Node.
No.
You
should write web apps. The back end of a web app, like that little tiny layer that like helps you run a web app, but like not a back end.
Literally nothing else. Like your back end should be in like some seriously typed shit that you don't ever need to like that you are fully confident in at all times.
For sure.
All right, so let's move on to we're wrapping this up. It's been really fun. This like
I can go for hours.
Podcast. Yeah, we gotta hop on picks and then blow this popsicle stand. So picks of the week. Every week we pick every week, like every 6 months, we pick our favorite shit. Clearly, Ken is still on the Mango Jewel Pod. So we'll
Mango Jewel Pods haven't existed for months.
Well, right, because they removed. They like you can't sell the flavor shit anymore.
Dude, it's all tobacco now.
What would you give for a Mango Jewel Pod?
What's the black market?
I'd fucking do weird shit to both of you. You can't find it. I can't find it anywhere.
You can't find it anywhere.
Yeah. You're not looking hard
I used to have a Canadian plug. The shit just is gone.
Tommy asked who's a famous DJ but also a Facebook engineer. Kenneth Wheeler? No.
No. Facebook.
Mark Slee. He's no longer at Facebook. I mean, come on. They got so rich so early on. They could all those early fucking Facebook motherfuckers from Stanford.
They're out there living their dreams.
They were at
we're gonna go on
that era. They were just that right Malcolm Gladwell outliers age where they could get rich and buy up all the fucking warehouses in San Francisco. I wanted a warehouse in San Francisco so bad, but they
bought them all. They should give you one.
Live on your mega yacht thing when this shit IPOs though.
Yeah, but not in San Francisco. But
no. Fuck no.
All right, so picks.
But like,
do you have a pick, Mike? Why don't you go first?
Yeah, I wrote some picks and I knew the shit was coming.
Picks.
My pick is close Twitter and go the fuck outside.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh
like all.
Man, fucking Twitter. But for real though, seriously, folks. So I tried actually a new thing today, which I think was pretty dope. Have you guys done VS Code Live Share?
No.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
It's a extension from Microsoft where you can like literally pair program with someone, and it's like interfaces some protocol like VS Code to VS Code, and you can view each other's like scroll position and like files and type and shit.
Cool.
Yeah, and then I got a pick that I want, but I'm afraid to like drop the Benjis on it.
Do it.
I want a tonal. You guys know
What the fuck is that?
Tonal? It's a San Francisco startup. Basically, dude, Kenny, you're gonna like this. It's like this. It's like mirror. You know, it's like one of these things you put on the wall, and it's got 200 pounds of pressure of like resistance from electromagnets, and it's basically a full gym. You can do like 100 different things.
What?
On the wall, and it's like a fucking amazing gym. And there's like it's a big like LCD screen, and they can like coach you, and there's classes. And
oh, dude, this is fucking bananas.
it's dope, and it's all on Android. My buddy Gabe Peel.
Oh, that's really sick, dude. It's like a cable machine, but it's hooked up
see
all
us.
smart.
It's
There he
Flex
is. Yeah,
too.
yeah. Dude, it looks fucking dope, but it's like $3,000 plus $150 a month, or no, plus like some monthly thing. So I'm like, damn, but it's cheaper than
You get the
gym membership.
It's a step above a Peloton.
Yeah,
One
you do fucking everything.
For 36 months. Wow.
No, but that's to finance it. But then there's also a monthly fee. So it's like $3,000. Yeah.
Yowza! It looks
But it
fucking sweet, though.
dope, right? Like, you know, every fancy ass hotel is gonna have one of those. Like they have Pelotons right now.
Yes, I
When
know.
is the next
We're
time
gonna have
you're
a
going
row
to a
of them.
hotel? Real talk.
You got to wake up early in the morning to get that fucking Peloton from Karen.
When are you
Okay,
going to a
exactly.
hotel? Like, what
Dude,
are you actually going to a hotel?
I've been to a couple hotels, man. Hotels are they're fine if you get the right place. Like a boutique hotel.
Pandemic, like not before the pandemic.
Well, but my next pandemic trip is for my anniversary. We're going to, on the website they call it, or Forbes called it the best hotel in the world.
Where is it?
Vermont, of all places.
Wow.
It's like Maplewood or some shit. I don't even know, but it's like it's in Vermont, and it's like just gorgeous, and I guess super fancy. I don't know.
Like, or some shit. Like, really?
Say
I
again?
don't know. Like, if you
Of everywhere, Vermont.
I like bucket list hotels like Amangiri, like fucking where they filmed that Bond movie. Like,
Oh yeah, for sure. I don't know. My wife, she found it. Who knows? We're going. But afterwards,
like I'm on a hotel in Maldives. Like, Ken, we're going there.
Yeah, I just booked. I booked a honeymoon suite in Santorini with a private cave.
Yeah, I done that.
Spring, but we'll see how it goes. I don't know if it's going to happen or not.
You'll see if Europe will let you in with your passport.
They will. I'll show them my dick.
That's the fifth beer talk.
What are your picks for the week?
Mine?
Yeah.
Okay, so my pick for the week is just one pick for the week, and I enjoy it very much. I'm wearing it currently, and that is
it's a banana hammock.
The Under Armour hover boots.
Oh god!
You see this boot?
No, it's just like a black ass boot.
Take a photo of it and post it later.
It's like a sneaker boot. Is that like a Yeezy? But a boot?
You were wearing Yeezys, but I don't know if that's like cool anymore.
It's a big bad boot. So it's autumn, and it's very clearly time to make deer disappear. So, I've been looking at some boots, and there's various hunting boots and hiking boots that all were up to the challenge. But this Under Armour hover, it's like strapping Kardashian ass to your sole of your feet. It's fucking incredible. If I'm gonna be sitting in a fucking tree, it is the softest, most unbelievable boot I've ever had in my entire life. It's waterproof as fuck.
Give you.
Yeah, dude, take me hunting. Take both of us hunting. Let's go on a hunting trip.
Do you guys want to go hunting?
Fuck
or
yeah!
we could just not kill animals and just like shoot skeet or trap or something.
Spike, we'll go hunting while you fucking.
You're overpopulated.
Or shit, but like you're just trying to go hunting. Like, what's that?
The ecologist here understands it.
The deer are overpopulated, man. You gotta get those shit out of there. And
they're actually super destructive to local habitats. The balance.
I just there's a local fox that's like out here in Connecticut right now. Is my homie. And
would you like me to kill him?
No, okay. He's actually super fucking cute, but we can go. I mean, whatever. I'm down. Honestly, at this point,
in New Jersey, it's so bad. It's like my brother was stopped at a stop sign, and a deer ran out of the woods and ran into his car. Like he didn't hit a deer with his car. He was parked at a stop. Deer ran into him. That's how overpopulated deer are here.
I'm in New York. I was like right in Union Square, and I was like in the middle of it. And I was just chilling at a red light, minding my own fucking business, and this drunk ass girl on her like just fucking plows into my head on.
Amazing.
And I'm just like, I thought me being like, oh my god, what did I who did I kill? Like, what, like, I go to jail. And like I look out my window, like on the ground, like convulsing, like being that, and then like
Jesus fucking Christ.
She's like then I look at I get out of the car. I'm like, this is serious. Like I might I don't know what I did. Like I thought I was just stopped, but maybe I blacked out. Like who knows, right? So I get out and like then
what you're saying is
the Uber driver like behind me like gets out. He's like, oh, I got it all on film. Like this girl's drunk as fuck. And I was like, no way. So like,
that's amazing.
And I got to get this movie, dude. I'll send it to you. It's fucking hilarious. She's just like swerving.
Oh man.
She was fine, but like I called the cops and got like she fucked up my bumper.
What neighborhood was that? Was that like East Village?
I totally called the cops too. I was like so ruthless about it. I was like, you totally fucked my bumper up. Like you fucking dented that shit. She's like, no, I didn't. You're being
wait. Not on the new whip, right? Was it?
No. It's the old whip. She's like, no, okay. I did. It was the day before. I was like, no, it was not. Like, why do I have to
say the new whip? Jesus Christ!
You got a new whip?
I did. I did get the new whip.
Crossbows indeed, Cecidio.
Indeed. I got the Audi Q5.
Oh, hell yeah.
Conversation.
That's the car, man. That's the car.
I'm full suburb now, in case you missed it.
What color?
Black.
Nice.
I didn't have honestly, I wanted the gray gunmetal thing, but they didn't have it. So
yeah, that's a weird color, man. That's kind of it looks like primer to me. You know, it's like a
little
shiny
bit. Yeah. I'm pretty happy with it. It whips. It totally whips. Like the Audis. Dude. Also, I was looking at I was like, I'm gonna get like a mediocre car. I was gonna get a Cherokee, or like a Highlander, and like I was getting like a mid-level car, and then I was like, wow, okay, all these dealers trying to fuck me super hard for the same amount of money. I could just get like the entry-level Audi.
Totally.
All day.
Hell yeah. Dude, we walked into a dealership thinking we're gonna get a Volkswagen. We walked out with the Audi, the SQ5.
And that shit fucking whips, man.
It's dope.
Oh my god.
Dude, I remember we rode that thing down by that fucking the road. That shit was crazy.
Right when I got there, I came to your house. We like drag race down this like country road, and it hauls, man. It's nice and loud.
And honestly, the were it not for like my uncle got a great deal on his SQ5. They like have like one on the lot left, and they like gave him like I don't know, $10,000 off. But they were just like, I got the pandemic special of like full price. So it was really nice. I'm pretty cool
right, because everyone's buying cars now. Damn,
everybody's buying cars now. Exactly.
Yeah,
so, but I'm super stoked with the Q5 though. I really like it. It's like comparatively to everything else in the price range, it's night and day. Like everything else is a golf cart.
My Range Rover is better.
Oh yeah, you got one for your girl.
Compared to anything the Americans could make, or like even like Japanese cars in the same price range, like no way, dude. This thing is fucking.
Yeah.
What's the name of that Range Rover? It's
Velar.
Like
Velar. Oh, that's like a car.
Q5 size.
It's a good looking fucking car, man.
Is that what you have, Ken? Or you have the big thing? No, you have the Velar.
I have a Velar.
And black.
Is it all white?
It's like in between the Evo Q and the Sport. No, it's black. Two black cars, like we're fucking the FBI. So Jared, what are your picks, man?
Okay, my picks. 2 picks, tech picks. So today, is it HashiCorp or HashiCorp? Who knows?
HashiCorp.
It's HashiCorp, right?
Yeah, like a hash.
Literally saying it's called Waypoint. It's like this deployment thing that's like cross cloud deployment. That's it's kind of interesting. It's kind of like Vercel, but in the sense that it preview deploys. It's like Git based. But yeah, it's pretty cool. There's deploys to like ECR, Kubernetes, all those other things. That's like super dope. So HashiCorp Waypoint's my first pick. My second pick is AWS Copilot, which is a tool I moved all our shit to deploy all of our Fargate instances.
Fargate instance.
Yeah, so we do like so AWS is like a managed Docker system that's not Kubernetes based. That's basically like very confusing Heroku for Docker, and it's called Fargate because that makes sense. And if you capture that Pokemon, like I do, Copilot makes it a little bit easier. So that's like my 2 pick, and then my 3rd pick is TaylorMade Sim Driver, which I bombed like 300.
Fire.
Dustin Hoffman over here.
I tell you like that, like the scores don't lower if you hit the ball farther. But I tell you what brings happiness. It's not semicolons. It's not love. It's hitting a driver 300 yards.
That'll do it. The sound alone.
That's impressive because you're not that big of a guy and you're relatively weak. So that must be a really good driver.
I got fat. You understand? Like, I got that John.
Oh, you got some weight behind it now.
Not bad for a pussy.
Not bad for a pussy at all.
175 now. Like
Spike, we gotta go play Cruise or Spring Meadow soon.
Yeah, man. Let's play, man.
Before it gets too cold. I just want to let you boys know that I finished 5 beers on this podcast.
I'm very close to this. This is there. It is. It's like a little bit.
Yeah. You, at that point, you just gotta finish it, man.
I'm gonna finish it tonight. This has been a phenomenal podcast. I gotta say, I really missed this. We gotta bring this shit back, like on the weekly.
Weekly. Absolutely weekly. Do we have one for next week yet?
I don't even know. Who gives a fuck? Spike, you just want to come back if we don't.
Hell yeah! I wanted to say it.
I don't. This is the move, dude.
Spike, I don't feel like we're finished. No. Ben Halpern's next week, but the week after that we don't have anybody. But Spike, would you like to come on the 29th?
Fucking filler, man. Let's do this. We got more to cover.
There's nothing else to do.
I'm close to done.
Not even just started.
A lot of Airbnb questions. We have a lot of climate change questions. We even get to climate change.
Dude, I got a lot.
I would love to talk about climate change.
Ken's like trying to pronounce climate change at this point.
Climate change.
I have dinner now, but like, let's continue this conversation next week for all the for all the team and whatnot.
I might even do it Tuesday with Spike next week.
Maybe just do it bi-weekly. Just
anytime, man. I miss. Here's the thing. I miss hanging out with my fucking boys. And this is the next best thing.
Heard that.
Next best thing.
All right, we got to get this back. All right, so let's sign off for the Undefined podcast, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Jared Palmer,
and I'm Ken Wheeler. Fuck all of you.
Yes.
Thank you, Spike.
Yeah, and Spike, how can we follow you all?
Oh, the internet. You find me on the internet. Just search Spike Brehm, motherfucker.
Yeah, exactly. All right, folks.
Dicks come up.